Hi guys, thanks for joining me today on my channel. I'm glad to have you here. Hope you're doing well. Today's video is one that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've taken notes, so if I look down it's because I'm looking at this. But I wanted to talk about as much makeup as I have, and I have quite a bit. I mean, there's obviously people who have way more than I do, but I'm just one person and I have more than I really need. But I started thinking there are some cult favorite makeups brands that I don't even have any of. And that got me thinking, what ones do I have? What cult favorites does everyone absolutely love? Multiples of. And I don't even own a single one. So that's what we're going to talk about today. One of the first things I want to talk about is eyeshadow palettes. That's what most of these are going to be because they're my passion. I do not own any Urban Decay Naked palettes. I know. I don't know why. I really don't. So I know there's a Naked 1 and Naked 2 and Naked 3 and Naked Smoky, Naked Heat. I know most of them run about $54. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, now, why, Karen, do you not own any of these? So the only thing I could come up with is the Naked 1, 2, and 3 in particular. They look very monotone. You know what I mean? And maybe that's just to the eye. They might, when you swatch them, they have really quite a difference in, obviously in finishes, and some are matte and some are satiny and, all that kind of stuff. But just to the naked eye, I think my eye tends to go towards pop of color. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm so attracted to, like the, Huda Beauty, thing where there's a whole bunch of warm tones and neutral tones, and then there's a purple, and then there's a shiny copper, and I think that's what kind of attracts my attention. So when you see Naked 1, 2, and 3 in particular, they're very monotoned in the display. So that might be the reason why. I don't know. Plus they're also rather pricey, for eyeshadow palettes. The Naked Smoky was the first one that I actually kind of started looking at. And that's because it had, some grays and some blues and stuff. So I was kind of thinking that, but that one's now totally discontinued. So that one's not available anymore. I did hear someone say that they saw it at Nordstrom's Rack. So if I ever get down there, maybe I'll try to find one. And then, of course, their newest one, the Naked Heat, which does have a lot of those warm tones. I wouldn't get that now because I feel like the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette kind of has some of those same tones. So I don't really feel I need that one. But so that's the first one. I have to confess, I don't own any Naked palettes. Okay, the next one, which is a huge cult favorite. Here I am again at confession time. I don't own any Loreal Pro palettes. I know. Oh my goodness, guys, I could just feel I could feel the heat coming from me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I know they're sold at Ulta, and I know you can find them other places. They aren't sold at Sephora. I don't know what it is. I look at them and I just don't have an interest in them. I don't know if it's like the little squares or if, I don't know, they're too big, because I know they have the Loreal Pro and then they have the Mega Pro, and I don't know what it is. I know that the palettes themselves are kind of pricey. Not that I haven't bought pricey palettes before, but for whatever reason, I just look at them and I just kind of draw my attention somewhere else. I don't know what it is, but I do not own any Loreal Pro palettes. I said it. I did. Here's another one that I don't own any of. I don't know. Here I am on YouTube and I feel like all these are ones everyone has but me. I do not own any Too Faced chocolate bar palettes. Yep. And this is coming from someone that's a chocoholic. So maybe I was afraid I was going to actually start eating them. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I know they have the chocolate bar. They have the semi-sweet chocolate bar. They have the white chocolate bar. And then they came out with the bonbons. And I don't have them. I do have one little mini chocolate bar thing that came in one of my boxes, which I do like, but I don't know. I don't know if I have no answer for you, to be honest with you. I have a couple Too Faced. I have the Too Faced Stardust with Vegas Nay palette, which I like. I have the Sweet Peach palette, which I like. And I just don't have any of the chocolate bar. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I think it'd be cocoa powder and I'd start like scooping it out with a spoon or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I don't own any. A brand that I wish I owned, that I am almost positive is going to be fantastic from the quality and the reviews I get, the reviews I see, is Viseart. Viseart palettes, don't own any of them. Everyone that's gotten them loves them. I think it's because they have the $80 price tag. It's probably one of the reasons why. I know that they come out, the original Viseart comes out in like the 9 different color combinations that they have. And there's a few of them that I would totally grab up. And I think it's just coming up with that initial 80 bucks. I think it'd probably be, you know, worth it pan for pan. But when you look at the price, I'm like, oh, I could have 2 for that price. You know, that kind of thing is what I'm thinking. And so I don't own any. And I know they're for a while. I know they also came out with the Theory palettes, which are a little bit smaller, that are like $45. And I don't own any of them either. I don't think I've watched any reviews that were negative about them. So you know that they're good. I just never picked them up. Another cult favorite that I feel like every beauty blogger has, except for me, is Morphe palettes. Now, I will say I have 2 Morphe palettes. They're the more recent ones. I have the Jaclyn Hill one, and I have the Dare to Create one. Both of those are very colorful palettes. You know, they have a lot of pops of color in them, and I think that's why I wanted them. But I'm talking about like the 350 palettes or 350, whatever they're called. Those ones where there's just like a huge palette of like so many shades and half of them look alike. You know what I mean? Those ones that are just like monotoned palettes of like a whole bunch of different neutrals, and there's like 50 of them. You know what I mean? Those palettes. Or there's the, I know there's the 35s, like 35S and N and O and all those. All of those palettes. Those, I know they had like the real generic black plastic packaging, you know, those ones. And I don't know, I think there's a couple reasons why I don't have them. Number one, I feel like there's maybe too much of the same, you know, and 2, I find them so bulky. You know, like I have a couple Morphe palettes and they are big, but I wouldn't want, you know, like a big stack of them. You know what I mean? Just for a couple colors here and a couple colors there. Maybe that's what turned me off to them. I don't know. It has nothing to do with if they're good quality or not. Absolutely not. It has to do with, did my eyes get drawn to it and do I want it? Because Morphe has really affordable prices. So it's not about the price. It's more about, like, you almost get overwhelmed. And of course, I'm always looking for that pop of color. That's what I kind of look for in my palette. I want to see neutrals. I want to see shimmers. And I want to see there's pops of color everywhere, you know. And maybe that's why I don't own any. Next one is another high price one that I feel like everyone that owns one loves them. And that is the Natasha Denona palettes. Oh my goodness. They look amazing and they're so expensive. I'm sorry. They're so expensive. I think one of her large ones is like $280. It's like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's just no way. No way. Now, if someone sent it to me, that'd be fine, but there's just no way. The quality might be amazing, but I just can't do that. But I know that she has one called the Lila palette or the Lila palette. That one caught my eye. Absolutely did. But once again, it's like $89 and no. Nope, 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 nope. So I don't own any Natasha Denona. And finally, this one probably stumps me more than any of them. This is my final one. I do not own a Real Techniques makeup sponge. I know. I have a gazillion beauty blenders that are 4 times the price, but I've never tried the Real Techniques one. And I couldn't even tell you why. I love the girls. Their name is Pixie Woo on YouTube. Love them. They created Real Techniques. I've heard wonderful things about the sponge. It's only like $5.99. So it's not the price that's the problem. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. I just keep gravitating to, maybe it's the color. Maybe because it only comes in that like peachy orange color. And I like mine to be purple. Or I like mine to be marbled. I don't know. Silly, I don't know. I have no idea. But those are some of the brands that everyone has but me. And I don't know why. So those are cult favorites that I haven't gotten on board with yet. I don't know what it is. I really don't. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get some soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to know if you have anything that you know is a cult favorite and you don't own it. I'd like to hear in the description box, so please leave me a message. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!